The White House is urging House Republicans to come together and pass President Trump's massive budget bill. At the center of the legislation is an extension of the tax cuts passed during the first Trump administration in 2017. Two of President Trump's top economic advisors wrote in an opinion piece for USA Today, quote, "If Congress passes President Donald Trump's proposed tax cuts, we are confident that a surge in economic growth will help offset the federal deficit." CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady joins us now. It is always great to have you here to make sense of all of this. Does lowering taxes automatically mean economic growth? And if not, why?
So it doesn't always. And the reason being is if you and I have more money in our pockets or companies have more money to play with, they don't always go back and spend or invest that. Now, there are a number of times if we go back through history where you do see this spurring economic growth. Think of Kennedy's tax cuts in the 60s, Reagan's tax cuts in the 80s. Those both did and are associated with economic growth after that. The 2017 tax cuts, though, a lot of economists say yes, some say no. So the jury's still out on that. The reason why it would, in theory, spur economic growth is think back to what happened during COVID. A lot of people got stimulus checks, more money in your pocket. In this case, you get taxed less, so you would bring more money home. The idea would be you and I would go out and spend more. But we are at a really interesting moment where this isn't happening in a vacuum. You also have consumer sentiment going down. So maybe you and I don't spend more. We say, hey, I've got more money in my pocket. I'm going to save. I'm not going to go spur economic growth. It's also depending, I think, on a lot on these interest rate cuts that the president is hoping for. So there is credence to the argument that it would spur economic growth, but a lot of factors have to be exactly right.
So many things at play there. Let's turn to global trade. The U.S. has announced that they have, the Trump administration announced a trade deal with Vietnam. What more do we know about that?
So initially, if you go back to the Liberation Day, as the White House called it, it was going to be a 46% tariff on Vietnam. It was brought down to 10%. I know that's a high number. It is a high number. It was brought down to 10% with the July 9th deadline. This is now going to land, though, at 20% for goods that are coming into the U.S. that are manufactured in Vietnam, and 40% if goods were manufactured in another country and then shipped through Vietnam. What this means, maybe your Nikes, Lululemon, companies that manufacture products there, it could cost more. But we also know there are many points in the supply chain where companies are going to try and eat a little bit of the cost here and there. So you and I will still go out and buy those products.
All right, Kelly O'Grady, thank you very much.